Hey guys, welcome back again to Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. I'm Dave and welcome back to the Dimension, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So we're back again for another unbox. Lately I've been on a Marvel kick, so we got a little change up. I've been holding off on getting this guy for a while and just said, what the hell, I'm going to go get him. Got him on, I actually did a bundle so I can get some free shipping. So I decided to throw him in. We got the blue Zeo Ranger from Power Rangers Zeo, Lightning Collection figure. Now, there's been some criticism about this guy, but we're going to give it a quick, honest, straight run through, guys. So I hope everyone's doing well. Right now, I've got some crazy weather going on in parts of the country. Texas is pulled to a screeching halt with their power grid, internets. I mean, with everything going on with Rona this past year, I mean, it's, you know, a lot of people are trying to remote educate, a lot of people are trying to remote work, and it's chaos. There's winter storms all over the place. In fact, I'm in Buffalo, New York, and we're going to be hit with, supposedly, between tonight and tomorrow or so, a foot and change of snow. So, it's chaos everywhere, guys. So, I hope you guys are doing well, and we're going to jump right into this video, guys, okay? Well, got my trusty, handy-dandy MacGyver. And we're just going to cut right on into him. Now, before I rip it open, we got Zeo Ranger, blue Zeo Ranger right there, Rocky. Same on the other side. And, of course, there's no dialogue, there's no little synopsis about him. We just get a nice little action pose with his Zeo blade, with his lightning effect, and just your basic Zeo blaster. A lot of people complained that he did not come with his Zeo weapon. You know how each ranger gets a specialized Zeo weapon of some kind? Tommy got his sword, but he also had the Zeo sword here. So that's the criticism. Oh, well, Tommy gets his special weapon. Why can't Rocky and the others? Who knows? It's just the thinking that they did, guys. It might be cool if they maybe did an accessory pack later on that actually included the weapons. But I mean, honestly, it's just that thing to recreate that scene from the show, from that you know, from those episodes. But it's not like the weapons combine together so they can do the big massive pose like Mighty Morphin. The first season, you could combine the weapons to make one big mega weapon to take out the bad guys without having to resort to the Zords. That was just the thing. So we get your legal jargon, pluck and file it. It's right there in the box. We're going to set the box down. I mean, don't get me wrong, the art on the box is pretty good, but, I mean, sometimes you just want that little extra piece, guys. Now, you guys know that I've had issues with paint applications in the past, so we will see if that's the case or not. Now, I actually like this. I like the blue and the gold background. That's just me personally. I actually play a multiplayer game called DC Legends or DC Universe Online. And a lot of times that's kind of the paint scheme I use on the color scheme I use on some of my characters is usually white, blue, and a gold variant of some kind. So what do we get in here? Well, we get a very cool energy effect, which I'll figure out how to put on his blade. Looks like the slit or groove for it's right there. Now, what does he come with? He comes with a human head, Zeo blade, Zeo blaster, and optional hands. That is it. Nothing too special. Now, of course, my biggest gripe, and the gripe many people have had, are the head sculpts. Sometimes the eyes are looking a little off-kiltered, and sometimes the head sculpts just look a little weird. Here we got Rocky. I mean, it doesn't quite look like him, but I mean, I'm sure it's probably as close as they could get. I mean, Hasbro has done some amazing work with the Jason David Frank heads, the Tommy heads. I really hate how my camera does not focus correctly. I think my next couple videos, I'm going to be getting a specialized stand so I can do the unboxings and use my S21 Ultra, which seems to have a much better focus than this C922 that I use. So there we go. So we have your basic fist. It's on this little hinge peg, just like all the other. It's not all that crazy. It's just your basic Ranger fist. There you go. I have to apologize. I have a few cuts on my fingers, namely from Monty and Olive, my two cats. So here we are. We got the little Zeo blaster. I mean, the paint on here is actually really good, actually. I really like the detail, the paint, and the imprinting that they have on this blaster. Come on, camera. You know you want to focus. I swear. I'm sorry, guys. One of these days, I swear to God. I'm sorry, it's not focusing. Again, I apologize. So here we have the Zeo blade, even though it was a round blade, which didn't make all that much sense. It's like you're just fighting with a pipe on a handle. But that's what they had in the show, guys. This does look more gray. Personally, I'm almost tempted to take some silver argent to give it more of a metallic look, and maybe just some spritz of clear, just to kind of seal it. I'm really tempted to do that. So now let's go to the figure. Let's go to the tape, Johnny. Here we go. We got Rocky in his Zeo form. Now, excuse me. I know this wasn't something in the show, but I would have liked it if they would have done it. Thrown the Zeonizers, which was their Zeomorphers, I guess. If we could have had something that would, I don't know, clamp onto the wrists. Because, I mean, you never saw the Zeonizers unless they were morphing from human form into their Zeo form. I mean, it would just be something cool, something a little extra. As far as the paint on the Zeo body, Zeo Ranger Blue, is actually really good. I'll even break out my glasses so I can get the finite detail, guys. So on here, the molding is really good. It seems to be nice and even. The details on the Zeo costume itself, the Zeo suit, I mean, even the back here, you can see the details right there on the back of the belt, especially around the crest line of the suit. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I had my phone on silent. I didn't. I apologize. So, there we go. We have a lot of real nice detail. We got the Zeo combination belt buckle, which features all the Zeo symbols to represent all the Zeo powers combined. Because remember, there are 6 Zeo crystals, which only supplied power for 5 Rangers, which I thought was a little lousy, but they had to figure a way to slowly write David Yost out. I mean, he stayed on the show for quite some time, but I understand through some of the stories why he didn't stay on the show. We do have gold on the arms here. You can see it coming out, so there was a little... They did paint that, so that was good. All in all, I mean, this is a very good figure. I mean, they did a lot of detail, especially on the wrists. I mean, that's not flat gold. I really do apologize about this camera. There's a lot of detail here. I mean, they did a good job. They did a really good job. I mean, there's even tons of detail right above the white boot right here. I mean, there's a lot of texture, a lot of purpose. I mean, they did a lot of work going into that much detail. So even though the head sculpts kind of suffer, everything else is good. I mean, even the helmet right there looks fantastic. There you can see a lot of the detail. Some of it over there is a little faded if you really look close enough, but I mean, they did an amazing job on here. I mean, you can make out some of the details, not perfectly crisp, but they did an amazing job, guys. Of course, he has holsters for his Zeo blade, if you want to call it that. That's what I call it. His Zeo blade and also his Zeo blaster. There you go. And like I said, there's no other accessories that come with him. He's your basic Ranger body. He has your basic elbow joints, rotation of the hands. Of course, you can pop these open these little gloved hands. You can pop them right off and use the closed fist if you want to do a fist pose. For the most part, I usually keep the gloved hands, the open hands, so he can hold his weapon. In fact, let's try and get a pose going if we can. Okay, so the slot for it is right there. If you guys can kind of make that out. And there it goes. So there we go. Nice little energy pose right there. So you can make it like he's attacking someone. I'm curious to see if they'll do like a... Well, they didn't have the putties. They had the Machine Empire. So we'll see if we can get some cogs maybe in the next batch or so. Because, I mean, they're doing all the Mighty Morphin villains right now. I mean, we have... aside from Lord Draken and the Ranger Slayer, we have the King Sphinx, Goldar, two versions of Goldar, two versions of Zed, because there's a single Zed and there was Zed with Rita. We had Rita by herself. We had was it Pumpkin Rapper, I think his name was, and of course the putties. We had the original putty, and now we had the Z putty, which I have both actually. And now they announced that they're going to be doing Tengas. So they're going through some of the Power Ranger bad guys. So it'll be... I'm curious, like, how come they haven't done Master Vile, they haven't done Rito. I would have thought Rito would be a logical one to go ahead and do. But they haven't done him yet. Or his father, Master Vile. I mean, they're doing the Zeo, they're doing In Space, we have Astronema, but we don't have anyone else. Are they going to do Divatox or Zeo? Zeo and Turbo? I mean, oh no, she was Turbo, not Zeo, but she did appear in Space a couple times. You know, give us some more. One I'm hoping for is, since we have Zeo, since we have In Space, give me a Phantom Ranger. I always liked the Phantom Ranger. I always thought he was a pretty good character. You know, give us a little bit more variety. Right now, the bad guys, for the most part, have been centered around MMPR, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and that's perfectly fine, guys. I'm fine with that. But there's, you know, okay, if you're going to give us 2 or 3 MMPR villains, give us a Zeo villain. Give us, you know, In Space. Give us, you know, give us a bad guy. Like, give us Emperor Grum from SPD, you know, give us some orcs from Wild Force, or, you know, give us something. You know, if you're gonna have 2 or 3 figures of the good guys of one series, give us at least one bad guy and maybe a hench person. That way we can buy more of the henchmen, so we can, you know, create that army. You know, you did the Putty 2-pack, and a couple of people jumped on 2 or 3 of those at a time. So, you know, it is what it is. But honestly, I gotta say, for as much gruff as Rocky got, I can take Rocky's head and I can now put this on Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, so we can do, you know, him when he took over for Jason, and you can also take Jason and pop Jason's head on the Gold Ranger from Zeo. So it works. It works out. I'm curious to see if they're ever going to do Turbo, or if there's some legal issues with Turbo. Now, I say that because of this, guys. We went from, okay, we had MMPR, we had Zeo. They jumped over Turbo to go directly into In Space. Are there some legal issues? You know, do they not have the full rights to do it? Because as far as the Tommy legacy goes, Green Ranger, we have two versions of Green Ranger. So we have Tommy with the headband when he was evil. We have Tommy without the headband when he was good. We have White Ranger Tommy with his more explored ponytail. We have Zeo Ranger Red Tommy with his long hair when he was trying to be a race car driver. We have that. We have Lord Draken. I actually have two versions of Draken. I'm very lucky to have that. But we don't have Dino Thunder. Not yet, anyways. I mean, they are starting to do Dino Thunder figures. So I expect him to come out maybe in the next year or two. I'd say between a year and a half, ideally. Who knows? Could be sooner. But we don't have any Turbo figures, and we don't have any Turbo villains. We don't have any Turbo figures, which seems to be a little odd to me. Okay? Divatox was actually kind of an entertaining villain to me. You know, and her little hench fish people, whatever the frack they were. I mean, you know, and you had her nephew, who was just a complete moron, and they carried him over in Elgar. They carried him over from Turbo over to In Space. I mean, give us something, guys. You know, just give us a little something. I'm not asking for the world. Just give us a little bit of variety. But it almost seems like, as far as the Lightning Collection in Hasbro is considered, it's almost as if Turbo is like an unspoken, you know, he who will not be named. You know, it just seems like that's the one that they won't speak about, or at least so far. That could just be my own mind, my gears going a little crazy in the head. But I would really love to see them do some Turbo, because there's a lot of cool things they can do with Turbo. Hell, even give us a Turbo helmet with a light on it. I mean, guys, you can make some. You guys can make some bank with that. I mean, you gave us the Red Ranger helmet, which I have now. I'm still debating getting the White Ranger helmet. They haven't done any Power Ranger helmets this year, so I'm waiting to see, are they going to do something? You know, are you going to give us a Zeo helmet next? Are you going to give us a Green Ranger helmet? I mean, that's the one a lot of people have been waiting for. My problem with the helmet is my ears are big, so if I try and put the helmet on, my ears are pressing up against it, so it's hard to latch it on, or it won't close because my ears are kind of pinching in. If the helmet was just a little bit bigger, just a little bit wider, guys, that would be awesome. That would be totally awesome. So, I know I got off topic, guys. I apologize. So, Zeo Ranger Blue. I definitely dig him. I really like him. The only gripe is, the gripe that everyone has said, is about him missing his Zeo weapon. But, you know, Hasbro, that's something you can always do. I've said this before in a couple of my videos. Release an accessory kit. You know, you could do like a little HasLab, where you do a survey to see how interested people are, and maybe have some of the molds of some of the various weapons in case people lose stuff. You guys know, as collectors, we lose their weapons, or weapons are damaged, accidents happen, something will happen. So there is that, guys. And give us an accessory kit with different assorted energy effects. I mean, give us something like, maybe you have the lightning effect from Green Ranger, and maybe you put Red Ranger's the red color in, or do purple for black, blue for Blue Ranger. You know, give us some variety. I'm sure if you do a little survey on your website, Hasbro Pulse, if you do a little survey there, You get people to see how interested they are, people will jump on it. I can guarantee it. I'm not saying you're going to make millions and millions of dollars, but if you have defective energy effects and maybe, they weren't the greatest quality, you take a little markdown on it, you sell them as accessory kits to your customers. People will jump on that, guys. I guarantee it. Not that I expect that Hasbro or Hasbro Pulse is watching this. I'm just a small YouTuber. You never know, guys. But I really like this guy. I really do. And I'm a little surprised at myself for waiting so long. I mean, they did a ton of details. I mean, just on the feet themselves right there. I mean, you guys can see that. I mean, that is a ton of detail. Compared to what they've done in the past, like with the SPD Rangers, they've just painted the emblem on some of them. They really, I mean, with Zeo here, they really did a great job. And that reminds me of another thing. You heard me mention how they're going to do the Tango Warriors. SPD Green is coming out. I'm definitely jumping on him. I really liked SPD. SPD was a little bit darker, a little bit more edgier for me. I really liked that one, and RPM was actually pretty good. But some of my favorites, Time Force. I'm surprised we haven't got anything else Time Force. Like a Time Force, Pink, Gen. I'm surprised they haven't gave us that one yet. So, I mean, come on, guys. We had 30 some odd years of Power Rangers. Of course, it's going to take time, but it just seems like there's no actual strategic game plan. Like, okay, let's do this one-off character from this one from this one, and let's give them, okay, 3 or 4 MMPRs, or 2 or 3 of a certain, I don't know, it just seems a little uneven. That's just me, guys. That's just my opinion. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I gotta say this is, I'm gonna say a 9. This is a 9. I mean, the Rocky head could have been a little bit better. Steve Cardenas. I mean, it's just, they usually mess it up like around the eyes, or they make him look a little puffy on the side. That's my whole thing. And they really didn't do much of a hair sculpt on him. It just looks kind of barely textured and just some paint. That's it. Like with a lot of them, they've done some amazing molding of the hairs. Like you can see lines coming through, you can see highlights. I mean, they've done some amazing work here. But this time around, at the very least, I give it a 9. 9 out of 10, guys. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So there we are. That's just a quick video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked this review. If there are some figures, some stuff coming out you want me to take a look at, give me a suggestion in the comments section below. Or, better yet, you can email me at davesdimension78@gmail.com, or find me on Instagram at davesdimension. Now, also, we're going to be doing we got a ton of things coming through the pipeline. I am through a very good friend of mine and teammate. I will be getting the Battle of the Bands audition Marty McFly from NECA from Back to the Future 1. I also will be getting my hands on the new NECA Batarang from the 1989 Batman, the Michael Keaton one. That's going to be very cool. I'm actually getting 2 of them. I'm not sure how I'm going to display them yet. And I may even do a little paint mod on the stand itself, because I've seen a few people who've gotten their hands on it. There's definitely some questions to be raised about that. Also, we're going to be doing a series of videos featuring the Walmart Ghost Trap, where I will be modding it, and I will be taking you guys step by step through the process that I go through. So that's very exciting. So there we are. A little bit of what's coming up, a little bit of what I have right now, and as always, guys, I'm going to leave descriptions for this I'm going to leave a link where I got this from, Hasbro Pulse. I actually got this right from their website when I ordered some of my Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse figs. So, until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.